Good afternoon, everyone. This is Kevin Devine with ProSource. I'm joined by Ryan O'Toole, and this is the third in our four-part webinar series for myProSource. This one is entitled, You're the Inspiration. It's all about uploading photos of your completed projects to our inspiration section on the website. And just like our other webinars, you can tell we really like our 80s music here at ProSource. So we thank you for joining us here this afternoon. We know your time is valuable, so we're going to go ahead and begin. We'll probably last, just like the other webinars, right in that 15 to 20-minute range, and then be able to let you go. So here's what we're going to cover off on today. First, we're going to go through a reminder of what myProSource is. We just do that at a high level. I know we've done that over the past two, but just in case we have some new people joining us, we'll just remind everyone what we mean by that term, myProSource. Then we'll tell you how to actually upload your project photos to our website, and also how you, and most importantly, prospective clients can then see that inspiration that has been uploaded. You're going to hear us use those two terms somewhat interchangeably, a project versus inspiration. It's pretty much the same thing. It's a project when you're working on it. We just call it inspiration when it's uploaded to the site because you're inspiring prospective clients. And then finally, at the end, we'll get into our question and answer session for you. So real quickly, what is myProSource and why should you care about it? myProSource is that special section of our website that resides behind the login state. So our first webinar told you how to sign up for the website. It's free. It just takes a couple of minutes to get an online account. And then within that online account, within myProSource, you'll be able to see your referral history, your estimates and orders over the past 3 years with updated line order statuses, updated overnight. You'll be able to collaborate with your clients on projects online. And as of today, for our webinar today, you'll be able to upload photos of your completed projects to promote your business. All that resides behind the login state. So myProSource is all about making your work with ProSource and your clients more effective and efficient. So what are we talking about here when we say an uploaded inspiration? What exactly does that mean? What does that entail? Well, again, it's photos of a completed project with some descriptive text that surrounds it and some caveats as to what you are or are not seeing within that project. And that's what we're going to bring up here for you now. We're going to show you an actual inspiration project that has been uploaded by one of our Trade Pro members to our website. We have right now thousands of photos actually on the website. This just happens to be one of them, bringing together old and new. So you can see it here, loading up on the website. From ProSource in Wichita, there's Roger. He's our remodeler that uploaded this kitchen. I get a little jealous with some of these projects because my kitchen does not look anything like that, and I do wish that it did. With some descriptive text, other photos of the project. So you can see how all this came about. There's also a before in progress photo. So you see what they started with. This is what we're going to show you today, how you can take photos of your completed projects and put them on our website just like this. So the way that we got there on our website was from the top navigation. You simply click on inspiration, and then it's organized by room. So we have 15 different rooms: basement, dining room, bedroom, kitchen, living room. That's most likely how a user is going to, how a homeowner is going to search for inspiration. They're going to search by room. Now they could click on all inspirations. That takes them to the landing page that you kind of see in the backdrop there. If they were to get there, they could choose by room, by design, by budget, so they could still get there. This serves as sort of a landing page people might get to from email or social media sites, so they could get there as well that way. But most, you're just going to click on the navigation at the top, and they're going to search by room. And what we're going to do here is take you through that process. So with that, I'm going to turn things over to Ryan. And as we do that, Ryan, I'm going to go ahead and get logged into the site here as a Trade Pro member.
Sounds good, Kevin. Thanks. So like Kevin said, now we're going to kind of jump into the nuts and bolts of the presentation and talk through how to actually upload your project to the site. And the first step, which Kevin's doing right now, is getting logged into your account. So in the first webinar, as Kevin mentioned, we covered how to create an account. And then in the second, we really covered how to optimize your profile. And those webinars were recorded, and we do have them available on demand. And we will be getting links to those recorded webinars out after this one's finished. So once you're logged in, you will be taken directly to your dashboard. And of course, because we're doing a live demo here, the internet has decided to slow way down.
Yeah, just have to love technology.
It was moving like lightning just before we started here. But while it's loading Thomas's dashboard here, a couple things that I want to point out that were covered in really the first and second webinar. This is his dashboard. A couple of great things to remember are your referral bonus history, calendar year are available to view from your dashboard, as well as a link to your estimates and sales order history. That goes back 3 years, and you can see that history on demand whenever you get logged in to your account. But just below the referral bonus section there is the advertise your business section. So ultimately, there are 2 ways to get your projects onto the website. Today, we're going to focus on the show off your work button. And this is how you add your completed projects to the site. So assuming you got projects that have already occurred that you're really proud of and that you feel convey the quality of your work that you want to show off, clicking that show off your work button will allow you to do so. And so once you click on that and the internet catches up with us, we're going to be taken to the upload project form. And again, I mean, there's nothing overly complicated. This is a pretty standard form, but we want to give you some best practices and just kind of walk you through it and certainly answer any questions you may have. The first thing you're going to want to do here is give your project a name. You're going to want to give it a title that makes sense to the people browsing the gallery. And in this case, we've decided to go with Warm Transitional Master Bath. And then next up, we're going to just fill out some basic project information, starting with the room type, and which of course is a bathroom, and then design style, which of course is transitional. Now, there's also the option, and it is optional, to add a secondary room type. And this is probably most useful if you have a project that encompasses 2 rooms, kind of like a kitchen dining room combo or something along those lines. But again, that's optional, as well as the secondary design style is optional too. So from there, you're going to want to plug in your room size and your budget. And as Kevin mentioned, those are filters on the website that prospective clients can use to look at inspirations or projects that are most like the ones that they're about to embark upon. So you're going to want to give a project description, just like it says there. You're going to tell the story of this project to let potential customers understand the thinking behind your work. And
now, with this particular section, with the project description, you can make, this as short or as long as you want it to be. If you remember back to what we had for Roger, he typed in a full paragraph. There are folks that type a story in there, and there are other times, like what I'm doing right here, that you might just type just a sentence or two to keep it short and sweet. It's completely up to you. This is your chance to tell a story about the project that you completed for that trade pro client. Generally speaking, the more descriptive you get, the more of a story you're telling to a prospective client.
So you've got some product information, you've got a description, and now comes the most important piece, I think, the visual aspect and uploading photos. The first photo you're going to want to upload is your featured photo. So this is really the main image that displays associated with your project. So you want to make sure it's a good one. You're probably going to want to take the best photo from that project and upload it. Once you find the file, it's going to open the photo cropping tool. And one thing to point out here is, as Kevin kind of zooms in and out, most photos are taken on cell phones these days, and some are taken vertically, some are taken horizontally. The crop area, which we have, allows you to capture as much of the photo as possible for however you take photos. We tried to accommodate, every which way that folks take photos while displaying as much as possible. So once you crop the photo, it's going to go ahead and replace that placeholder image, and now you see Kevin's photo displayed in that box. From there, you can upload up to 6 additional photos. And again, these are maybe the project from different angles or at different levels of zoom, just capturing more of the essence of the project and the quality of your work.
I think in this particular case, it happens to be a large bathroom, so there's a lot of different angles. Sometimes with a bathroom, 1 or 2 pictures are going to kind of show it, but if you think about larger rooms, especially like kitchens or living rooms, the more angles you can show, again, the more of a story that you're telling to a prospective client. You're showing off your work from different angles, and you can also focus in on particular work. If there's some tile work on the wall or in the kitchen, if you think back to Roger's kitchen project, I'll flip back over here real quick. You can see he zoomed in on certain sections of his work to highlight certain sections a little bit more, the intricate work that he did. So we allow that opportunity with all these additional photos.
And from there, we've got a special section dedicated just to before and after work, and it displays as such once it's uploaded to the site. And again, Kevin is cropped the photo and is uploading it there. First one's always going to display in that placeholder area, and then any subsequent ones will display in those small little photo boxes off to the right. And once you have your photos uploaded, you're going to go ahead and you're going to let folks know which products you use. So this is where you highlight, any products that you use to bring your project to life. The products listed are, of course, ProSource product categories. And so that's it. You've got all of your information, your photos uploaded. You've told prospective clients everything they need to know about your project. So now you can click Preview Project to take a look and see how it's displaying online. And
one other thing probably to call into mind here too with the products used, those don't have to be products that you specifically purchase at ProSource. We'd love it if you used all of our products on all of your jobs, all of your projects. But we understand there may be some things that you got someplace else, but that's okay. What we're calling out here is what products did you use in specific on that job? Because even if you didn't use ours, we certainly know we have products that could make that a reality. So the more you put, the easier it is, again, from a search capability for a potential client to see the products that they may want to see in a particular photo. And now we are moving into the preview project mode.
And so what you're about to see is essentially exactly how the project that you've uploaded is going to display on the site, of course, with the exception of that ribbon right there. But as you scroll through, lays everything out just as you inputted it, including the additional photos and the before and in progress photos. Got all the products you used, and a return to edit button in case you want to go back to the project to make any changes. But once you've edited it, you've got it looking exactly how you want it to look. You're going to go ahead and you're going to click Publish. Now, it's really important to note here that as soon as you click Publish, it doesn't automatically publish to the site. What happens is it gets submitted to us here, and our content team reviews and will ultimately publish the project. We want to make sure your project reflects your quality of work as much as possible. So, this step really allows us to make sure it does. Typically, we're able to review it and get it posted within 1 business day. And so that's exactly what this modal that popped up lets you know. Hey, your inspiration upload was successful, and here's what's going to happen next. We're going to check it out, make sure everything looks good, and then we'll publish it to the site. And once it's published to the site, it will display in your published project section of your project page.
I'll actually bring up that slide just to show that a little more clearly here.
And now, for all intents and purposes, your project is out there. Prospective clients can see it, and Kevin's going to tell you a little bit about how to do so.
Actually, I think did I go one slide? Yeah, I'm sorry. So let me just load this up here. So just so you know, so we'll show you how that actually looks. But we talk about how you're uploading this inspiration to our inspiration section, but it actually resides in multiple places. It's housed there, but there are links to it in multiple places on the website, and that's what we're going to cover off. But this is what it actually looks like when all is said and done. This is when it looks live on the website. This was the actual project that we put up there with the project team, who the trade pro was, who the account manager was off to the side, and all the photos from that project are out here live, including the before and in progress. So if we return back out here, this is everywhere that it's going to reside on the website, certainly in the inspiration, but there are links to that inspiration off the showroom page, off the member profile page, off the account manager's profile page. We use those images in our articles on the website, of which we have over 300 articles out there. Each one has at least 2 photographs, so there's multiple places that we use inspiration there, and in multiple other marketing tactics that we use outside of the website: email, direct mail, social media, and our annual Possibilities digital catalog that resides out on the website. We use it out there in multiple places, so we are promoting your work for you on your behalf in multiple places through multiple tactics, both on and off the website. This is your free advertising. It's the way for you to promote your work and be seen by prospective clients. And that's all you have to do. Now, the key here is try to remember, although you may look at if you remodel an entire home, and you may look at that as one project, we encourage you to think of, when you upload your inspiration projects, for each room to be its own inspiration project. Upload each room individually. Yes, that will take a little extra time, but that means instead of being promoted one time with one project that lives on the website, you're promoted 10, 12 times for each room that you upload. So the more rooms that you upload, the more times you're promoted, because the more listings you have in our inspiration section. So that actually concludes what we're talking about here today with You're the Inspiration. We have our last webinar coming up next week. All right, stop, collaborate, and listen. Yes, we're still loving our 80s music even at the bitter end. That comes up next Thursday, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, same bat time, same bat channel that you can get to, and you'll get email reminders about that. So we certainly hope you'll be able to join us on that. That's when we'll talk about how you can collaborate with your clients through the website as well, through that myProSource section of the website. At this time, I remind you that, first off, this is being recorded, and you'll get an email link to the recording. You can also ask questions. You'll see that little box off to the side where you can type in your questions, and those get submitted to us. But if you think of something after the fact, there's the email address, webadmin@prosourcewholesale.com. You just email us your question after the fact. We were asked by Michael, do the photos need to be a certain size because of what's necessary out there? Yes, they should be at least 690 by 690. And please don't get me into the technical details of how you ensure that happens. But there are settings you can establish to create larger photo images, but you want them to be at least 690 by 690 in size or bigger. And the reason for that is if they're smaller, it gets not just scrunched, it gets stretched on our website. So it's just how websites act. If photos don't conform to the size of the image that's being displayed, it'll be distorted, for lack of a better term.
One other thing to point out there is if you take photos, on your phone, your iPhone, for example, and you upload them directly to the form from your phone, they'll certainly be large enough. But if you email those photos to yourself, at least on the iPhone, you're given the option to email the actual image size or a small, I think a large, medium, and small version of that. Go ahead and email them to yourself in the actual image size. Because as you step down, I know definitely medium and small won't be large enough, and I'm not sure about the large. But you can upload them from your phone, but if you email them to yourself, make sure you do actual image size there.
And it doesn't. Oh, we got one more. Oh, well, no, we just got a thank you type to us. That's always nice to hear, or in this case, read. But doesn't look like we have any other questions, so we're going to go ahead and conclude this webinar. Again, if you think of other questions that you may have, please email us at webadmin@prosourcewholesale.com, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. And we did get a last-second question in there from Marie. Marie, based on your question, if you could follow up with us after this call, we'll take that up offline since that's a little more specific to products that showrooms carry. We'll address that for you. But thank you all for joining us, and we hope to talk to you again next week for our last webinar in this series that'll talk about online project collaboration.